Tonight, something is going to happen to you that would be terrifying if it happened to anyone else. Your body will shut down, not sleep, paralyze. A chemical will flood your brainstem and switch off your muscles, locking you in place so completely that you won't be able to move a finger. Then your brain will start generating a hallucination so vivid, so detailed that you'll believe every second of it. You'll see faces, hear voices, feel fear or joy or grief over things that aren't there and never were. And then, this is the strange part, right before you wake up, your brain will quietly delete almost all of it. You'll open your eyes, and within 10 minutes, a 2-hour experience will be gone, like it was never filed. You do this every single night. You've done it thousands of times. And here's what should genuinely unsettle you. After decades of science, we still don't fully agree on why. But the leading answer isn't beautiful or mystical. It's brutal. Some scientists now think you dream for the same reason a shark has to keep swimming. Because if your brain stopped, something inside your own head would start eating a part of you alive. We'll get there. But first, you have to understand what's actually happening in that dark room behind your eyes. Let's start with the fact that for most of human history, nobody even knew this was going on. Until 1952, the standard scientific belief was that sleep was an off switch. You lie down, the brain powers down like a light bulb, nothing happens, you wake up. Simple. Then a researcher named Eugene Osorinsky did something nobody had bothered to do. He wired up a sleeping person to a machine and actually watched. He hooked electrodes to his own young son's head and waited. For a while, nothing. Calm, slow, deep sleep, exactly as expected. And then, a few hours in, the machine went insane. The boy's brain suddenly lit up like he was awake, solving problems, running for his life, while his body lay completely still. And underneath his closed eyelids, his eyes were flicking back and forth, fast, side to side, like he was watching something happen at high speed. They called it REM, rapid eye movement, and every time they woke someone up mid-flicker, the person said the same thing. I was just dreaming, and it was so real. So that's the discovery. Now here's what's going on inside you when it happens. And it's 4 separate things, all at once, each one weirder than the last. The first is the paralysis. Your brainstem deliberately cuts the line between your brain and your muscles. And this is a safety feature, not a bug, because you are about to spend the next stretch of your life fully believing you're being chased or fighting or falling. If your body could move, it would act all of that out. You'd be kicking, running, throwing punches in the dark. So evolution's fix is to hold you down. You are strapped into the ride whether you like it or not. The second is the hallucination. During REM, the visual part of your brain becomes wildly active. In some ways more active than when your eyes are open. That's why dreams don't feel like imagination. They feel like seeing. The colors, the faces, the places. To your brain, at that moment, the dream is not a picture of reality. It is reality. The third thing is the part that explains why dreams are so insane. The prefrontal cortex, the region that handles logic, judgment. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Powers way down. It goes offline, which is why, in a dream, you can be late for an exam, riding a giant chicken, in a house that's also your old school, and none of it strikes you as strange. Your inner critic has clocked out. Anything goes, and you buy all of it completely, until the second you wake up. And the fourth thing is the quiet one. The chemicals your brain needs to save long-term memories drop to almost nothing. It's as if the brain looks at this entire chaotic experience and decides, don't save this. None of this goes to the hard drive, which is why you can wake up gripped by the most intense dream of your life. Reach for it and feel it dissolve in your hands within minutes. Put those 4 together and you get a perfect private cinema built into your skull. One where you are the director, the star, and the only person in the audience, screening a film that gets erased as you leave. But it doesn't play all night. It runs on a strict timetable. Every night you ride through roughly 4 to 6 cycles, each about 90 minutes long. Think of it as a roller coaster. You start in light sleep where a car door or a cat on the bed can still yank you awake. Then the track plunges into deep sleep. The heavy stuff, slow brainwaves rolling through like tide. This is the repair shift. Your body patches tissue, builds muscle, reinforces your immune system. Wake someone here and they're a groggy, useless zombie because you've interrupted the maintenance crew mid-job. Then, once the body's been serviced, the coaster climbs back up and drops you into REM, the dreams. And here's the twist. Most people don't know. The ride isn't the same all night. Early on, your brain prioritizes deep body repair sleep. But as morning approaches, the REM stretches get longer and come more often, which is exactly why your strangest, most epic, most memorable dreams tend to hit around 5 or 6 in the morning. the feature-length ones, right before the alarm detonates and rips you out of the theater. And it's not just us. Nearly every mammal does this. Birds too. That dog twitching and paddling its legs and making tiny muffled barks in its sleep, it's in REM. It's running. Somewhere behind those eyelids, it's chasing something it will never catch and won't remember. So the machinery is astonishing, but it costs energy, and it leaves you paralyzed and defenseless for hours every night. Evolution does not tolerate expensive, risky habits for no reason. Which brings us to the real question. Not what do dreams mean? That's the old question. The better question is, what are dreams for? For thousands of years, we guessed. The ancient Egyptians were sure dreams were messages from the gods. They built entire temples where people would sleep specifically to receive them, and kept professional interpreters on hand to decode the results the next morning. Then around 1900, Freud dragged dreams out of the heavens and into the basement of the human mind. To him, every dream was a secret wish in disguise. Forbidden desires your waking mind won't allow, smuggled past the censor in code. His student Jung pushed further, arguing dreams speak in symbols shared by all of humanity. The hero, the monster, the shadow. It's a seductive idea, that every dream is a locked message about the real you. But when brain scanners finally let us watch dreaming happen in real time, the picture that came back was less poetic and more mechanical. So science stopped asking what the dream means and started asking what job it's doing. And several answers emerged, each one climbing a little higher. The first and the least romantic. Maybe dreams mean nothing at all. During REM, the brainstem fires off bursts of random chaotic signals, noise. And your cortex, which physically cannot leave anything unexplained, desperately stitches that noise into a story. It's the same reflex that makes you see a face in a cracked wall or a rabbit in a cloud. By this view, a dream is just your brain refusing to accept static and inventing a narrative to cover it. The second theory is the one most scientists now back. Dreams are the save button. All day you hoover up information, a conversation, a new skill, a route through a new building. At night, the brain sorts the pile like a librarian working after hours, deciding what to keep and what to bin, moving the important stuff into long-term storage. In one striking experiment, people learned a tricky 3D maze, then napped. The ones who dreamed about the maze came back and solved it dramatically faster than the ones who didn't. Dreaming about the thing you were learning was literally extra practice. Your brain rehearsing in the dark. The third theory is darker. Ever notice how many dreams are threats? Being chased? Falling? Something in the house? That's not random, some scientists argue. It's training. A dream is a flight simulator for danger. Your ancestors who could rehearse escaping a predator while safely lying still had faster, sharper reactions when a real one showed up. Your nightmares, in other words, might be a survival drill you never signed up for. And there's a modern update to this. We don't fear tigers now, we fear each other. So the simulator adapts, running you through the argument with your boss, the humiliating date, the speech where you look down and realize you forgot your trousers. Practice for the social battlefield. The fourth is the one that produced miracles. Because the logic center is switched off, dreaming lets your brain slam together ideas that would never touch while you're awake and sensible. In 1862, a chemist stuck on the structure of benzene dreamed of a snake biting its own tail and woke up with the answer, a ring. Paul McCartney woke up with the entire melody of Yesterday already finished in his head, convinced for weeks he must have accidentally stolen it. When the rule follower goes offline, the brain is free to be a genius at 3 a.m. Any one of those would be a good enough reason to dream. But now we reach the theory that doesn't just explain dreams. It changes how you see your own brain. And to understand it, you need one unsettling fact. Your brain does not tolerate empty space. Its regions are not fixed. They fight constantly over territory, like borders on a live map. If any region goes quiet, even briefly, its neighbors invade and annex the unused ground. Blindfold a person completely, and in under an hour the parts of the brain that handle hearing and touch begin creeping into the visual cortex, moving into the empty house. Now hold that fact next to a simple truth about our ancestors. They slept in total darkness for 8-10 hours a night. Which means the visual cortex, the massive prized real estate that lets you see, sat there for a third of every day with no input at all. A prime, undefended territory. Left alone that long, night after night, it could be colonized. You could, in a real sense, sleep your way toward losing part of your sight. So what's evolution's defense? According to neuroscientist David Eagleman, dreams. His idea is that dreams are a screensaver. Roughly every 90 minutes through the night, the brainstem deliberately fires images into the visual cortex. Not because you need to see them, but to keep the lights on in that room. To make it flash, I'm still in use, I'm still working. Don't you dare move in. The vivid, cinematic, emotional dream you'll have tonight might at its root be a territorial patrol. Your visual system holding the line against the rest of your own brain. Sit with that. It means dreams aren't necessarily art or prophecy or hidden desire. They might be a defensive weapon in a silent war being fought inside your skull every single night, just to keep you able to see when you open your eyes. So which theory is right? Cleaning up memories, rehearsing danger, unlocking creativity, guarding your eyesight? The honest answer science gives right now is the most interesting one. Probably all of them at once. Evolution is a relentless cheapskate. It almost never builds a tool for one job. Dreaming may have started for something as unglamorous as protecting the visual cortex, and then the brain, being the brain, quietly bolted a dozen other uses onto the same nightly machine. Memory, emotion, survival, the occasional world-changing song, which leaves us in a genuinely strange place. We have photographed black holes. We have read the entire human genome, letter by letter. We have built machines that can write and paint and talk. And yet you, right now, cannot be told with certainty why your own brain drags you into a paralyzed hallucination every night of your life and then hides the reason. So tonight, when you lie down and feel your body start to go still, don't be afraid of it. You're about to walk into the oldest, strangest, most private theater that has ever existed. The one place you can fly and speak to people who are gone and solve the impossible. And it costs you nothing but the memory of having been there. You've been going there your whole life. You just were never meant to remember the way back.